My voice.
It is easy to forget a storm when the roof is strong. It is easy to sleep soundly when the gatekeeper is awake. Peace is not an accident. Peace is engineered. It's a fundamental gain worth protecting. General Museveni is a fire extinguisher and a shock absorber in East Africa and beyond. They tell you change is coming, but when the storm breaks, you do not cut down the great tree to plant a seedling. You hold onto the roots that go deep. That's trust and dependability. Fellow Ugandans, on 15th January 2026, you won't just be voting for a president of Uganda. You will be renewing the mandate of an accommodative statesman and a pan-Africanist to continue offering clear-headed leadership in Uganda and on the continent. The world knows this. Muzei chairs the non-aligned movement and the South-South Cooperation. He is the incoming chair of the Africa Peer Review Mechanism come February 2026. African Union has just entrusted him with leading the Sudan peace process. Under Muzei's leadership, Uganda has chaired the African Union Peace and Security Council at summit level 4 times. Muzei successfully guided the peace process in Burundi and restoration of statehood in Somalia after 2 decades of anarchy in the Horn of Africa. As a true disciple of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's gospel, Muzei championed the revival of the East African community and remains steadfast in providing guidance and direction at strategic level to the integration process. He is a promoter of Africa's common social infrastructure, Swahili language. His tolerance and visionary leadership led to the restoration of culture institutions and freedom of worship in Uganda. When he speaks, the continent listens to his wisdom. Do you really want to silence the voice that Africa follows? Muzei didn't just build an army. He formed a disciplined Pan-African force, the mighty UPDF, that has secured Uganda's borders and pacified many regional partner states. At a time when the apartheid machine was at the height of destruction, decimating the bases of ANC in the frontline states, General Museveni provided sanctuary and training to ANC's Umukonto Wasizwe and other revolutionaries that were fighting for self-determination. Driven by his love for humanity and Pan-Africanism, Muzei maintains that no African should be homeless in Africa. He opened doors to refugees when others built walls, earning Uganda the respect of the world as Africa's largest refugee hosting nation. Uganda now hosts close to 2 million refugees. He championed women emancipation in Uganda and steered us safely during the COVID-19 pandemic. He is not just keeping us safe, he is moving us forward. The boy asks for a chance, the novice promise. The old man with a heart offers a record of gains worth protecting. Development is anchored on peace. Do not cast it before uncertain winds. Vote Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Vote NRM. This is an Africa Mashariki Fest initiative.
Luak may rode to ping. I'm to wish you a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Actually, we mot kere mara mecha mu Christmas a bear, kere donye mo hanyena bear, kere nene do apara biche do machiel, ibole wuni ngore sam kui, bet MP, Prime Minister me Uganda, me konyo luak, me lao, kere me rode to ping. Apoyo matek, radio, television, unity, me wuni konyo wawunu, konyo langi, konyo luak betu malo, neno ginenyen, me gin yampe neno nien. Oba me do gum, apoyo.
Do you know when it called love, when to become one? And I felt like a boom in your arms, I call home. Do you know when it called love, felt like a boom. In your arms I call home. It feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like it feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like a paradise. Do you know when it called love, when two become one? And I felt like a boom. In your arms I call home. Do you know when it called love, when two become one? And I felt like a boom. In your arms I call home. It feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like it feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like a paradise.
All right, apoyo reunion tieno meni na tinti iwinyo wada hiti following wa Unity Television tieno meni na tin chia big nindo apar ya bongwendwe mapar we are yo mwaha tutumi ario kide pira riwa beach ya jola tek tutual ke kanoro kide kita meitie kide ye kwa kisha pi beru leta titiri kide chia beach ukaro peo beru tie pi jeme moga me onu pegere ento tindo do kwa tir iwiyamo. Well, ya yo mutiano meni na tina tikiri wele na studio alobere kire ngoa wana na nutiano meni na tin wa hati kire chawani amoktiegi studio achako kire dana meti chia metu chama chokere total man Eddie Morris Ogweng magbendera me the National Resistance Movement Pilira City West Division adong Eddie Morris ojoli
apoy matek adong Mike pi jola studio poy dang pi jo tiene no wae wilo valoro kanodo shu piranga po tek total jona me ticket gi karachiel poy no bere tie aya yo mele yo kedo ni natin
apoyo macho ken ne chao bedo Boni Gongson Otiama kireme kare dishu commissioner people's government doga tela me
People's Front for Freedom.
People's Front for Freedom. So ola hereditary apoyo Boni Gongson joli
Boy, akada de ngurako.
apoyo well ela hekacho bedo a member me Uganda People's Congress Party Ladid Patrick Apira. For the first time, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike. Anabero Engineer Patrick Apira. And as you mentioned, that is where I belong, and I think, nowhere to go. Kwa matek yo metia nenowa karachiel kede luak dishu. Acha meta jolwo the program ana pira check walking.
Apoyo.
No, it's actually closed. I love his shirt already.
Okay. Well, Nia bedo Mike ogwalo wona hachawa angwen me otiere meni natin. Aka chakede Eddie Morris.
Yes.
Campaign te wara nyim City West ninga.
Adong Mike kerejo atiane no wae ikan rodo show City West ya ber tini ni ilera City West wano obedo ya nai amusha barapo kedomiro otio odoro program amolo ni Paris based mobilization pe tielma chiel achalo party me national resistance movement udugo twero me kwayo queer itedero ameterni jo ameti cells in cities kede villages in rural areas gina yeo tikede twero me kwayo queer pia duong lobo kede flag bearers wa duch pia national resistance movement previously no bero kede gina malu ni national task force pitimo campaign at this time udugo twero ping itedero da ya yomi kom omina gongson gino bero yellow wate twale miro one of me power boto tedero so now power is back to the people ame nyurni miro yido pe wai koma kita yami wan kede
Mana devolution of it.
so ame to mokobori officially nili City West yabe dangin tio yi kharatera neni cha ti feel pola jotia ko nini nda para biteri ateka jotia mito mina wek omi mandate but you reka gota Museveni otemi mandate but Eddie Morris Ogweng mebedo me parliament pile City West.
All right, apo. Boni Gongson, PFF, jamita woninga.
Nationally, one policy focused in the moment. That one policy da yaye. Piantini wana na achene policy ongeni Museveni jo mi mandate ama yaye ibodjo. Mandate ere kitere ho binu ke da portia gwa kitono. So mi wan puro ni akara gino tiungi yo bala lo chortie yen kado neno dano ko lo chi mia anino mano pe lo miro mi wori tich te ma ko tich te nungo da chienne pe nini te beda chan jamar yo no papat mire bed kita wade hoti locha wano ngeno beda ber yo bore wan bore tu luenye na te banda la luenji me luero eto jo woro te makoti da jo anino da chire biri chao eto mano ko binin ite mede biri chan ni komi. That is the wrong policy. So one focus wa medne ne Uganda nyero berutie liberating a new Uganda, fighting to liberate a new Uganda, another independence.
In the context of 2026 general election, PFF.
One point no do copy election. And even Museveni himself doesn't believe in election.
So neno tie kai ko Museveni.
Neno wa tie ikwanyo tuo. Ka unity long, focus wa beni long. Me kwanyo long. So and tuo no whether nye chakani Museveni, nyo me nyinge NRM, nyo me nyinge ngo tuo wa me tie yele Uganda right now atani should be operated mewe ko kwany me mo komi better yacht.
Karatuoni kwa nyeningo amepaid participating yera pi presidency.
Not going to participating. We are going to vote Museveni now. We are participating.
But PFF paid candidate pi presidents.
But voting Museveni is the first step. Means there's a candidate.
Yakina aboro Museveni dong no pay abiro PFF candidate berbene.
One polo vote na joy Uganda do it rallying on him miero ga twere whether o kwalo kuirera kwala miero jo chuingegi bene no kela loka kitame chegola yoriemo Museveni ko Uganda orieme Busoga part of Western, and for the first time Kuira Chola is going to double in the Western Uganda. Karamit nyope Museveni and they know it. Bunyoro jo bara amane ro dia duo no chunye pengo mi agena ni lango da mi e queer eto chole kana ber oneno gero moti mi kombi there was now reversed ni Kuira Museveni dokitari ka chon to 40%. so mi wana mita loka ni wan puro wot ticha wala imero nene o konyo telo nyimdwa nyono kana besi jo weka ye.
All right.
Akana besi je ti buj. Chawala ipot peti buj.
So, in summary, candidate will be Robert Chagulai.
Ngata ke la loka ra wana chuinge ya mabe Robert Chagulai.
All right, Apo.
And it's a new blood.
Thank you.
O ka tera muse be luongo kara koro bedo wode era boy beda kware jona e luone o ni ba bazukulo kado e neno jina te ale po
Right, thank you, Gongson.
yeah.
Apo. Engineer Patrick Apira, Uganda People's Congress Party. Unipe ballot the presidency. What tiening?
Mechela miti cha konkele poyo Unity FM. Meme you want this opportunity. Karachel kide team me wano ti karachel kide kan. Eddie Morris karachel kide Gongson. Uganda People's Congress is still in the process to liberate this country. The liberation process me wano ti karachel kide shawani. Die meneno ni oduoho Uganda tado kitame neni winyu Gongson Jacob karachel kide. Where you have a stake, ignore Dutch, a media team for your country. As we talk right now, Ugandans still mobile squatters. Joame, you don't understand. Mwametia timere iloguni, including minister. You know that no minister. Ero koni penye ni doketi no mwa yinitia me yikapiri because one no me minister come up with your process. Ngoa unity keda chalba wando chimi bebe minister of agriculture. Tell us what you have. No dano tiabo bebe minister. Edo pay kede ginoro enako utima signing in, and that is a very wrong position for our country. So for us, we are still in another process. We did the first liberation in the independence. Then we did another one in 1980s. Now we are coming for the third liberation for this country. Mewek, Jodushu, you can have a say across. Twero be di kope puonyere, twero ko bi kope yotcom, twero ko bi kope me one to ko bukan kope me maho business. Kawano binu regionally, iyilang kan. One be Richard Will. Edo na do be Richard Will, one do ko lok do ko chu. Bien gina wano charo hope eto jo chati wajami, and that is dangerous.
In the context of Yerame 2026, UPC to you
we have agreed, and our position with our party president is very clear. For the moment, as we talk, there's no vote for NRM, and that is our position.
Okay, thank you. Position of UPC any vote per NRM. Eddie Morris Owang,
Yes.
statement ni pescaring in the ruling party?
Well, you see, in the dispensation of democracy, whoever wants to compete must join the race. And when you have not joined the race, you are not competing. There's a common saying that whoever is not against us is for us. So I still think, actually, UPC should be for us because they don't have a candidate. And the voters in the grassroots know that if you have a choice to make between a number of people, you choose from those who are there. You don't choose from those who are not there. And in this case, by UPC not fielding a candidate, I strongly believe that their understanding is that Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is strong to steer this country forward. And of course, looking at the current competitors.
But position of UPC is very clear.
That what?
Ni candidate Museveni teaching again and Honorable Jimmy Akena be the ballot. And for that matter, queer may UPC Amir would both Jimmy Akena, Premier being both candidate Museveni. Statement ni pe tia yengu to twale lango sub-region gan.
Petia Yengowa, completely, and also, fast forward, when you have a person saying, do not vote Museveni, and not saying the person to be voted, you come back to square one.
We shall declare very soon.
And that means currently, actually, by the way, the debate around election of 2026 is about Museveni. And interestingly, is either somebody saying don't vote Museveni or vote Museveni. And now, if you're telling people don't vote Museveni and not telling people whom to vote, the people will vote Museveni.
Wait.
Largely. And I can tell you without any fear of contradiction, as we go towards the election, the people in the grassroots have made up their mind to actually vote Museveni. And those who have not yet made up their mind, we have a preparedness to engage them.
Well,
and actually, as even I entered the studio, I am still seeing my friend Fred Apira, the engineer. I still think he's about to change his mind.
Wow, I don't know me.
Because he has not been used to not having a candidate.
Okay,
in
fine.
the last election, the UPC gave us votes. It's only now that I'm surprised.
Eddie Morris,
Yes.
you are not scared of that statement.
Yeah.
PFF, they're rallying behind Chagulanyi. Gongson has made it very clearly.
Yeah.
Engineer Pira, in the UPC, we're now 20 days, less than 30 days to go. We're directing because in 2021, 2016, UPC was for Museveni. So this time around, direction about whether.
Mike, one chako preparation for 2026 more than 10 years ago. And this one was very clear. And as we talk now, Tijamima, we had already, even the launch, when I'm a one team launch, why yet? For the campaign was already in place. I've ever shared with you. And then in the one the process it was not a trying thing. Because this is a tested party. We're not trying. Adang giname wanu ti karachel kede ping onu me chani jo du tiang wet everybody is anticipating ngoame UPC because we are an important thing in the equation of this country. And political equation of Uganda is incomplete when you don't put the party of UPC in it. And if we have a say, in fact, my brother is talking about what is taking place. Wait and see. We're going to tell the members this is there because our 1.5 million votes that we have counted is still there intact. And they're waiting for the direction. We must give them the destiny. And some calls which are tata. But for us as members of the party, we're still intact. And our position we are going to come up with very, very clear and very chalk to twat. This is the way forward because coming up in the equation of this country, we are not coming as voters. And I reach on but we have a say. We have a stake. And there are things that we must tell that members that for this place, this is what we desire. And for that extent, there's nothing to play about. It is not an equation. Actually, it is not as usual. Because those days we were not having a candidate. This time we were prepared with everything with a concrete manifesto. But we were denied opportunity, but we want to show members of this country, I stay in Kampala. It is a big issue. Every radio station is talking about what was the position of UPC in this equation. But just to get somebody, and there's no political parties in Uganda which is not having an issue.
Engineer Pira, of recent, Honorable Jimmy Akena launching manifesto Uganda People's Congress Party. Every candidate in the party should display the messages down. How is this being done?
We have two governments. There's a government, like in the local government, where we have a stake. Say, like in the local government, LC5, that one is a government itself. One of ticket is to say this is the direction we intend because our implementation is always clear. And Jama Dekanahari Amobedo, the foundation of across the world, poverty, ignorance, and disease. It summarizes everything Dang nakichawa ni pe ya ko bani poverty don't pay. Northern Uganda is still the highest. Actually is leading. And one tell you. Bini kobi kom tuo. Recently you ono poti tuo luni luni. What did I hatal right now? You were telling no kita me kom jo late karachel keda me dano mi water cross to buy some drugs. So poverty, ignorance, and disease, it is still an issue. Balashan, nena ko bilwa kan. Kapuri tiame in your region. Pete kedigina wuni jarwa homeke lichene boru. You are bound because in Uganda, like northern Uganda, pete ginora me wana sharo. Wana buri chu. Until we reach a point, I may want to what is our comparative advantage? No, I may want to take adding value to that all over the world. And as long as you put it better, will jam me. And that is still poverty aspect that we must do. We have been talking about produce marketing boards. This is a way somebody can be empowered. Eno mi cham origin pay me rioni dang pay bino at no bolikwi. So until we have reached to that point, I mean mi jowa better me tikare chel kiri ginori chinga me dang tuero wale che cha te koni pay bolikwi. But people are voting kado. That is quite so serious. And until we have, and that is the basic of our manifesto across.
Engineer Pira, Uganda People's Congress ticket candidates Pira Bichu Bichel, a level of a parliament, countrywide. If you are to bet, how many will you take in the trial of parliament?
Our for the start, because we have a lady in Kampala, we have another one in Barara, we have another one, but those ones, the truth is those stakes are hard. But their position, you can pocket that. So Eddie Morris, I am just laughing when he's saying that the ground is okay. I've been there. Just this morning I was there, I was seeing what is happening. But I don't want to, but I'm saying, Eddie Morris, Nidapara Beach, we shall call you for a celebration. Because we first want, remember very clear, Tieni, anybody who is trying to contest, especially at this moment, because from tomorrow, the president is going all over with a team of everybody. And Kawano Bino Koketi team, Jodushu Wanayate, what in this position, we want to clear and make this place completely answer original red. Because I hear there's some red also now around. But we want to make it original red. And from there, that would be the starting point we are moving forward. And let me tell you, we want to surprise people, and they're going to see it because Ginamoti Mere, one, our interest and all this, we were already seeing beyond. Because when the president said he was not going to contest the city east, you're scared, but that was our position. The president had gone beyond that, and we had gone across because our vote was in Teso, our vote was in West Nile, our vote was in Acholi. And this one, as we talk right now, it is still a big thing. I mean, they are calling for our direction. Which way should we move? And we are going to.
Lango sub-region Dikide, 31 constituencies. Chawani Parliament Mayor Parwe Chel, UPCT candidates. I mean, Tikide members of Parliament are Parwe. Tikide Geni, Weller Bino Wara Nim.
Oh, you 100%. And this one here is not something we are joking around. And that you could be rock Jana me wanu chakoni, we were cut short. But Jana me wanu chakoni is a long journey to create what we are calling liberation for this country, where every person has opportunity to have a say in the destiny of
Thank you.
Of leadership.
I'll get back to you. Bonnie Gongson, campaign war, now we are left with less than 30 days to Boluquir. But again, ground pretty well leveled. You could hear violence, police yellow, a case in point candidates in opposition. NRM nen but is safe in this campaign period. Ngwate kelo Germany.
Eto bedo ginanyen. The big question of bedo ginanyen. Israel Museveni line dushu Europe is violence. So penyen the teacher Museveni. Pien kaji ni word nine of Proverb 22:8. Como ni Corri, amai kyo. Kai kyo corri may injustice. Uno jo, chiano jo. Loyo locha bon woro chik rurubu jo. That is Proverb. Amai po cho ga woro. Eto cho ba cho yo ngo Museveni bedo. Corri may injustice. Amai Museveni cho ane. Uganda miro legi pecho bere pen ko remain justice kela yela e kom jo ajini dio da do ya giki mere jo ajini be dio ni reru ko pe so kana me wada ni ko no rego ti kere jo mora ngelo ki Museveni ba eri Morris gi ko no ko be Loki kodra we wana ponyo binu PM kedi. Pien a jona koboni. Eri ki pe dango ti gufu me PM Museveni. They have no power. They are powerless. Museveni bini komere bini chairman the movement ni loom. Is still the chairman of movement. In power. These people cannot challenge that chairmanship. 40 years. Ngata mero kwanyu. Ni anko awore chungi Museveni. Petty. They are powerless.
So now,
the violence of Bedo Kora Museveni cho. So pegin na nyen. Dan kajinero ko election nene. Amo Bedo Anna Museveni. Apone hodano. Just tell me one. Another chiane, all of them from reform agenda. Joamone. Indo kanaka wora ni tir odop man gulukan tina tidi kwa Museveni just because of election you abi chat to tam jini chwala jome pode jome nekojo
so man opposition mero surviving situation in ning.
It is a liberation struggle. Luenyi kum dictatorship o chakre Museveni is just gina chela ti ye Uganda.
Okay, Eddie Morris.
Yes.
According to Gongson, you are a beneficiary of injustice.
Violence. Yeah, they're part of it. They're part of it.
And all that. Why all this has been happening?
Well, when I listen to my comrade talk about injustice and violence, I find difficulty comprehending. The elections in Uganda being referred to, we've had increasingly better election every other year. Every other election year, our election has gotten better. Actually, that is why even the number of people participating are increasing.
Oh.
Because we have 8 candidates. Last time, actually, we had more than 8. So why would somebody tell you that we have violent election and somebody want to go for it? Why do you go for a violent thing? The reason they go is because they know it's going to be free, fair, and accurate, and credible. The only difference is that every democracy, every election, that's why they say there's no perfect election. It's either free, fair, and credible. Credible in the sense that majority of people believe that was the wishes and aspirations of the people who voted. So for the case of Uganda, I would actually want to think we've had the best playing field where people come in. We have not had any candidate. Even now you know that all the candidates are called escorts, government escorts. They are protected. Now, where do you say there's no democracy? Where do you say there's violence? The same police that protects Museveni is the same police protecting
Eddie Morris, nino do abishel meduere.
Yes.
I believe in Eno Timere Gulu. Ikom candidate me NUP. In Eno?
Aneno.
Timere Gulu.
Okay, first of all, before talking about the one of Gulo, I want you to know that every election has got the rules. And when you differ from the rule, you make people think you do not want peace. Anywhere in the world, there's always going to be rules of the game. And the rules of the game in this country and for this election is that you listen to the police. What is the police saying? And in the enjoyment of your right, you should not infringe on the right of others. The problem we have with the opposition in Uganda is that they are preoccupied with winning an election and removing Museveni at whatever cost, without even following due processes. Because now when police gazette that your venue for this campaign is going to be A and B. I would give you an example of Lira. Robert Chagulanyi came to Lira and requested he wanted a Kibwa, the former Kibwa, as his venue for the rally. He was granted. Was there chaos? Was there any tear gas in Lira?
After how long?
There was no tear gas. So what is causing chaos wherever it has happened is because they are denying the venues they have been accorded.
How did they get that venue?
Eddie Morris.
And they are being offered this venue by normal processes. I can tell you, if I came here and you told me to sit here and I refuse, we are going to have confusion here. But I entered here, you gave me this chair, I have sat, you allowed me to put my phones here, and there's no problem. But where you decide, I give you a venue, refuse the venue, what do you expect the police to do? And actually, I have begun to believe that the opposition in Uganda thrive well in controversy. When there is no controversy, they think it is a bad election. And you see, like I've just given an example of Rira, where there was no controversy, Chagulanyi did not have any, there was no vibe for him. Because police accorded him what he wanted. And he also obeyed. He wanted a Kibwa, he was given. Police guided him. He had a rally.
So
and he
now, according to you, Timere Gulu cha, NPO or revenue, kanameno and
he violated the police guidelines.
So he was supposed to be
no,
beaten.
a situation
no, supposed to be beaten.
But
the role of the police is to maintain
Eddie Morris.
Order.
Eddie Morris.
Yes.
A situation men in uniform in operation the street kids may handling presidential candidate in a broad daylight. Unuo not yet about security to handle Bobby Wine.
Well, I want to let the viewers know that any confrontation with either the police or the civilian is not something good. I don't recommend it. I don't think it's correct. But I also don't think the opposition should continue to incite police to act in that manner. A number of times, police act in response to protect other civilians. Because if you're looking for vote, there's somebody who is not even bothered. You have talked about business. The Gulu city is one of the best business places in the north. Are you going to ensure that all the streets are closed because there's a candidate? Do you want all businesses shut down because Chagulanyi is in town? There are people who actually earn their living on a daily. Those who are surviving on chapati, those who are selling soft drinks in town, they must operate. And the role of police is to protect property and the people. And if you are a candidate who is hell-bent on ensuring that when you arrive in town, all business shut down, then I don't think you're even going to make a good country.
Well, I'll get back to you. Engineer Patrick Pira. The civic education seems to have been missed in the process of election. And all that electoral commission are paying about 838 billion shillings.
Yeah.
And government granted them.
Yeah.
Manoti me deliberately pememi yungej me yera tunuboro nywale me Uganda yang ngej Onywa le peta medunongo.
Yeah, point my take, Mike. The theme may be the one. Jacob beyond the manifesto. What shapes a free, peaceful, is it? Peace. It is what shapes free, fair, and peaceful election. Now, when we look at this, I may put Pagama Penino. Jenny, if we are to go towards a peaceful election, this is what we call tenants. Jama memiru luak lobby. Bewek, we have the peaceful election. Politicians must be politicians. Peacemakers must be peacemakers or security. And they must do the thing without animal only with a blind eye. I don't need to see you. And then I offer you security. And then when I see Eddie Morris, I say that one is breaking the law. That is one thing I made at Uganda. Recently I was in Western Uganda. Actually, Karamatia, I made your ticket ludi, uya, techung, like yo, techakopodo, Bobby Wine. And the police were there. They were protecting them. Facial attention, one of them was a very big person in the government. And that one, the police were connecting pioneer one. There was no problem. Until the point I made, take it out to the point I made on police. That is a point I made, you will see the aspect of peace living the way. So, tenants, if you're a security person, please do your security work. But right now, as we talk, you can't distinguish. The distinction I made here between the security and the politicians. All of them. That's why you see retired members. I mean, I can name all of them. And I mean, I make bad advisors to the young people in the force. And they become politicians. What do you expect? Bad results. Now, aspect of Megini Penyo, I mean, Mahakopicom, voter education. Voter education, Obedo, Gina Piratek. I mean, as we talk right now, Anpangeoka, even Eddie Morris in the Metikande, Anpangeoka and New Kitame biometric voter registration is going to take place. Actually, biometric voting process. I don't know whether they have been taught. I don't know. If for us, Amedo Kotamonga, you pay me, that Potunga, you kita ginati, Karachelkere. And that is part of voter education.
With the experience, the number rekuti ukere dushu fail.
And Kajami no, a war much a waroneno, a quanojo. Quanojo Nakachawa, the results were put no. Because Tutu Karamoja network pe, Eka yini work no, quanojo Nakaturanga Tuni Yepe, Kunana Tia Musaka.
Nakatunga edi job opportunity.
So Korijamini dushu, Tikayini Nano Mumod. Achumano nunu gina mecha or you can leave. Kadong kwano jo ada wano neno kom luakopong. Ada anangoni matunga edi, matunga pira en, matunga di. Jo petuni ye. Karo tuni komi voting kono doe. Abero ningo. So, in fact, researchers are already thinking, there could be something. And dano yate koni, yunge bolo pirwe yuko. What next? Nyugin chadoa abaloko, adongotak chunga chunga kono. Because we don't know. And that is the aspect of voter education. Uneniti kobidi kukanene. I mean, kobuni jokene tia yame o pacho chala jokene koi koriat. People are not taught. They even don't understand. They don't know even the implication. Me put to chala dano. They do not know. And we have got 88 billion shillings. Morgan Mutie. Peace. That is not. That is a point. This thing needs even at the parish level. They are not even going to listen to the radio. Radios are very many. So I think it's a deliberate gain. Out the Koni, I think your machine can ye Koni, ignorance of the law has no defense. Couldn't pay for ya. What should I do? But the law
So
will.
in this case, ngatoro mero chimwa.
Electoral Commission, we have given you money. Actually, political parties do one of the things I may want to know, Donyokan, if we were in the ballot, that was one of the things we are going to come up with. Because you can't tell me to go and vote. I even don't know. I don't know. How many minutes? Me as a mathematician, I want to know. Because Joameti area nakana na bolu kwiri yedu tiadi. Eka kana mio maybe dakika rionyo dakika chiela. And then the whole day, kunana tike nama joroma. Ipo edu muni a half or even maybe peda 2.5 of the population will not vote.
And man is expected to take 3 to 4 minutes.
Now, you multiply that one, ke the station, amejo yetie miabor. Aitanyayo, kanatu unichawa apar, amejo gi karachel kede, inu ni jo pierbor ke kenen yo bolo. Where is the rest?
Eddie Morris, CDF making a statement, kun kovni yung ebolo kuir, darmir da hakupashuture, pe the polling station. Mommy or Monja taking over role electoral commission.
I want to say he's not taking over role of the electoral commission. You know, we have a light force. The Uganda People's Defense Forces has come a long way. It's not a professional force. And as a professional force, it has the knowledge and understanding of the law. Indeed, people made a lot of statements in what he said. But if you go back to our constitution, which actually governs the election, you'll know that it has always been like that. The constitution states that the area of the polling station, once you vote, you should be 20 meters away from the polling station.
But not going away from the polling station.
No, 20 meters away from the polling station.
But not completely away from the polling station.
Yeah, not completely away from the polling station. So the same way, if you have 20 meters away, and what are you doing at the polling station?
But CDF te komuni da hakupashu.
Well, let me ask you. If the constitution say you say 20 meters away, now what are you doing 20 meters away from the polling station? What is your interest being there? You already voted. Results will be declared in the evening. What are you doing at the polling station?
So now, Bolukwiri, me yeri PCT West in the Para Beach.
Yes.
Inang itamani miro, jo ameta chuakini, pebeda chok me observing, neno kitame Bolukwira berukere.
I actually have told my people, come and vote.
They get back home.
And go back home. The responsibility of declaring the results lies with the Electoral Commission. The responsibility of protecting the vote lies with the Uganda police. The role of the police is to protect to the people and their property. I've said this in another place. I think it even came on the news in Unity, that the role of the police is to protect people and their property. And the property includes your interests. At the moment, the interest of Ugandans is that when they vote, the outcome should be reflecting what they are desired. And that is something police is interested in protecting. And so when the CDF says, be 20 meters or go away from the polling station, is in compliance.
Go
home. I actually would say go home. Because I mean, let me ask my brother Gomson. Now, if you stay at the polling station, what are you going to change?
I'm going to observe.
Mike,
what are you
It
observing?
is my right to
An
observe
interjection.
that
On
everything
something.
is going
Okay.
well.
Because now, if you, let me say our election
Just a moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gina Memories Chakomboni. In the last election, I'm over at here. You yam kanene. Kawan no pay on the ground. No, what he meant. We yam kanene. Yera me Dr. Eunice. We got people with already predict votes, and we got them, and we had to cancel.
Was it at the polling station?
Yes, just next to the polling station.
You said next, but not at the polling station.
I think what Eddie Moore is saying, and the people who think like them, is that don't be vigilant. We want to loot your
They
votes.
look in a year, mate.
These are people who are concerned with looting things all the time.
All
They are
right.
looting the nation every day.
And
They want
Thank
to loot
you.
people.
Okay, we
Let's-
just
let's-
talked about how
we shall
how-
get back there. Let's take a short break and we get back.
They're telling people not to be vigilant.
Electing your leaders at various elective positions is your fundamental human right. Here's how to cast your vote safely and correctly. Step 1. Go to the polling station where you're registered. Step 2. Present your national ID or voter location slip for officials to confirm your name on the register. Step 3. Your identity is verified using the Biometric Voter Verification Kit, fingerprint or face scan. Biometric verification is mandatory to ensure only eligible voters vote. Step 4. Your ballot is scanned and issued to guarantee it's valid. Step 5. Mark your choice in secret, cast your ballot and get inked. Polling runs from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Your identity protected, your vote secure. Turn up and vote. My vote, my voice.
Let's talk about impressions. First ones, lasting ones. The kind that don't just turn heads, but stay in minds. That's what we do here at Valero. On the graphic sides, we craft your brand's identity, designing, branding, printing, the works. From bold logos to unforgettable flyers, we don't just make graphics, we make statements. And trust me, when your brand looks this good, people remember. But it's not just about brands, it's about moments, the ones you hold on to forever. At Valero Studios, we capture beauty, birthdays, kids' laughter, bridal elegance, and everything in between, not just photos, timeless memories.
All right, apo idu kucheni we check me chat will po uni line chimwa me studio me torogoyo I WhatsApp nyu itoro message ye 0776-132-345. Ekede chwalo tami I WhatsApp nyo. You can even make a live call on WhatsApp. You'll be part of the conversation tonight. For the studio kede Eddie Morris Ogweng, Magbendera made the National Resistance Movement leader City West Division. Kede Boni Gongson PFF. Then Engineer Patrick Apira Uganda People's Congress. Well, PFF, Eddie, Gongson, CDF company, you leave the polling station back home. And yini bedi tedero kan onyo later interpreting statement iningo.
Obero kende Uganda ticket kom. Office CDF. Obero office ora ditta me Uganda kero ye dana me pe tuero. The wrong person in a correct office. Very wrong person in a correct office. So pe miogina ichike ko come. And now be local statement. That is not his business. That is business of electoral commission. He's not a spokesperson of electoral commission. Which I don't get a no when. Which I couldn't know. Didn't know Lord of Dial regarding Papa me prison. A couple of money. Dapi loko tuero mere TikTok. Uriamo ko. Asir mo na sila. Ni piolo chike kaya na tie piolo. So anang yun eno issue statement ni ene beru wota Museveni, ama beru kamanda in chief, ama beru president e Uganda, ama lwenya dugu down ne ko jo da giro de bini lodge da pur de medde da nginek woro de ne ko gulu eno giku. Neke gule na poro giku by the way. A John would you put the John Oti in military uniform. Police of Panero Mahalo. Could police of Macbatun. And a dog John Bagalota may identity melotia oberodota balalu. That is the identity of that stick. It's a balalu stick. So Pangioka balalu onuroko mi uniform akeawa ginoti ruku. Pien no pay uniform. Era no makano. The same stick, I mean, identity in both balal only. So, miojini nioni kadonga put do joy di cheng. I read it more say could be vote and go home. It more that could be copy job many vote and go home. I don't go put por kuiro. Piena machiel. Agents ereja will loko. Agents pete berutie. Gawo kobini agent John will loko. Yeah, Jiri Berini on you are at home. You don't talk. Agents, people put them. You put their only two agents. Huh? That you took me up here and when you lack a chill and no one, your agents have been bought off. What next? And these have been happening. And these are things that may music job, mere town job, minga me one wake agents are you gonna be will. Or they come and arrest these people, the two people. Those who are observing, they are going to resist. We are going to resist. We are going to arrest that people in uniform.
No, we call when about Eddie Morris. You know, la hot hammer. Do you still believe the voters should get back home after casting?
I want to refer you back to my earlier statement.
Okay.
You've been talking about free, fair, and credible election, and election devoid of violence. Now, if we have a population who are not willing to follow the law, do you still expect that there will be?
Which law is broken there?
Do you still expect that election will not be violent?
Which law?
No, no.
Because let me ask you.
Yes.
If the law says be away from the polling station,
Yes.
and there are people resisting this law,
But Eddie Morris,
So
that is not,
what do you
that is
expect
not
the
the
police
law
to do?
yet. The law says be 20 meters away
away
from the
polling
20
polling
meters
station.
in, 20 meters and up to your home.
yeah.
You can choose to be at your home. I can choose to be
fact-
somewhere at 300 meters,
Yes.
200,
Because
100.
The instruction by the CDF, it is not yet the law.
No, what I'm saying, what the CDF said is trying to interpret the Constitution, because the Constitution is 20 meters away.
Yes.
Yeah. So my understanding of 20 meters away, the law was just being fair. Should have actually said go home, because if you're 20 meters
That's
away,
assumption.
yeah.
That's
Why
assumption.
is it? Why doesn't the law say
Go
the
home.
agents? No, the agents should be 20 meters away. Why does
Observe.
the law allow agents to be at the polling station, but a ordinary voter should be 20 meters away from the polling station? Now, if everybody crowds around there,
No.
remember the law, the
But-
same law
but
you
the-
want,
but-
the same law you want us to protect
But for
says,
your information,
do not converse for votes
but for your,
during the day.
but
of
for your
election.
information,
Yes.
Museveni are criticizing
But
election.
do you want to protect me? Because
No,
I
I'm
kept
just
quiet.
saying
I
information.
kept quiet when they were
No, it's
talking.
okay. You are protected.
Gongson.
Gongson.
I ask
Yeah.
information.
Okay.
you allow
Kay kam
for
information na Gongson.
Yes, what is in what was it?
Gini here, bear. Nee, this is not the first election.
Yes.
Under Museveni alone, this is almost the seventh or seventh election. Could issue no pay. Man, I don't repair election.
Let me
They make
ask-
opinion about election.
Okay,
Okay,
this is not very good. Actually brings a very good question, a very good point. Even when there was no statement that go on, have you stopped complaining that elections were rigged?
But was there any express order from CDF?
Now, what did you do different? Because now
Was there any express order from a CDF like this one?
this was not. This is actually not an order.
It's an order.
It's an advice.
It's an order.
Because according to the CDF,
we are not Moses soldiers.
It wasn't.
We are
the
civilians.
truth is, when he speaks, he doesn't speak as an order.
It's an order.
He's not the electoral
That's
commission.
why I say that office is very
But
important.
that information came from Electoral Commission, and for him, being the leader of the forces in Uganda, emphasized it.
Yeah, because the electoral commission was interpreting the law, which you have just
was
mentioned
broken,
here.
Which was broken. That law was broken.
How was
You
it broken?
You can't say people should go away. My
No, but the law
constitution-
says 20 meters away from
yes,
the station.
but this
Yes.
one is saying
That
go
is
home,
clear. Yeah.
disappear,
You are correct.
go away.
You are correct.
Now,
20 meters away.
away, go home, I don't think it makes a lot of difference.
Oh, no.
Because you're already not at the polling station. That's the bottom line.
But Eddie Morris,
Yes.
how can you differentiate 20 meters and away completely from the polling station? Now, nuitita makovni a bolquira chela chel ture take 20 meters away from the polling station.
Not really. My interpretation of the 20 meters and home is that you really don't make a lot of difference wasting time being 20 meters away instead of going to do something constructive. Actually, that means if you're not willing to trust the system, why do you come into an election that you're not trusting? Because what they're telling me is that they have come into an election that they don't trust the outcome, but they are willing to come into it. The Constitution actually mandates that when you come into election, you should relax that the election is going to be free, fair, and credible.
Well,
And that is what that is what the Electoral Commission is promising us.
good enough, less than 30 days we
Yes.
shall witness from City West Division. Engineer Patrick Apira,
Yes.
based on situation ametie chawani a Uganda tikede a yera campaign chat agenda and all that. Do you believe that there is a need for a change based on manifestos and make candidates tiabeokede all round?
Anabero kwano manifestos to the idushu. I started with ours, the UPC, rekwano me NRM, rekwano me FDC. I think major kanisha pair. I did not put much emphasis on it because a chaloba a Ugandan, I must really understand both nationally and internationally. Now, kana bino no one of them, especially Mayor NRM. Ando hichamo ora wora te wucha kuneno ni ngome tie for the package of my people. Iye. Ena tanu ni Mayor NRM manifesto gi or packaging the same. Kun wandu poti at the same level. Bien kayi ni bini te kwanyo te ketubala PDM. Aite kwanyo PDM the same money me PDM te kelo ilankan 100 million per parish. Te kwanyo the same 100 million ite teri Western Uganda. Kana mengara chela kenti kerechien na mela oma nuko. Ado ite wure te kwanyo the same money aite teri Buganda. Ame manu enobero pocket money for the people of Metikuno. Because dano te achato mwanyere at 16,000 per kilo. Aite kwanyo en the same money. Aite kelo bora na me apeke ginoro yinuite nyuara. And to me, anena tanunguni in the packages of manifesto me NRM should have not been the same. You pay kobal youth livelihood. Pay koba copy com education the same. Ti yokere tia menaha. The entire village degree holder pay. Amemando miro affirmative action. And after 40 years, Eddie Morris gipena mando. Gintamuni wana romi Buganda. Those people went to first world. Actually, they went to first. How to call it?
Middle income.
The middle income status long time ago. Eto one political one chakwa no one utuno kwa yeba. Yerja ko ni one do tuno kwa at the lower level. Eto kayi ni wotu white kole. Aite wot amosha. te wo neno yini wot kuna chi jo te chunni pien itunu na kai pasha me dano in fact kai yini ya te koni level education ke kan pet here. And that one, you cannot treat me the same. So for us, in our manifesto is to pick everybody. An affirmative action, men Northern Uganda, the same thing. 20 years down the road, people you tell when. Ameko mi richa kwanya han meke la kong meko wia ko tu ni kana wiji kong pirati tebu. Ame yin mi ko kwanya item yan ko bedo kong. Ameko achak neno lero. Eto man yiti ko ni joadu ti pole cha rom keda na mati telo. That one doesn't work. And that kind of manifesto is a war, is a political war. Bien, kaineno one ginadongo timu wakere, then we are peace with some political offices. Me, I don't need political office, by the way. Because manobero giname, I need permanent secretary. Yelao kan wandonga mano pay permanent secretary.
Commissioners.
I need commissioners. These are people I made directing. When I make Gina Shell me rotimere. Now you I take a politician or I may worry office that paying on hango because it is a political office. So manobero aspect I mean in all this arrangement we should have looked into that. But Morris get on one. Go to you pay Morris and a metieni ni making it and I will complete PDM. My brother. PDM. Borwa kache daru joma angwe jang when na mom your PDM they have died. They have gone.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
One was old and look at the Marco because Momor Tiame, I don't want to mention names. But I'm putting you down. That was the end result. Cooperative arrangement, Arikame climaxing to a cooperative bank. You save what you have made.
Okay.
Now, if you give me money, I am at the point, I slept hungry the other day.
Okay, fine. Eddie Morris.
Yes.
Manifestos are NRM. You're really protecting the gains.
Yeah.
And do you believe me? There are some components in the manifestos from other opposition political parties. I mean, incorporating Imeguni.
Well, when we look at our manifesto, first and foremost, I want us to agree as a country we have come a long way. And a number of times, some of the aspirations of other political parties we have adopted. When we started talking, from the reform agenda times, you talked about issues that we have, a number of them, UPE, USC, accelerated of salary of staff and things like that. We have inculcated them into policy documents. I want to agree with Patrick Hapira on the issues of the different nature of the country. Lao and Northern Uganda has lagged behind. I want to state specifically for Lao, and I agree with him on the aspect of the affirmative action that we require. But you see, when you're talking about the national manifesto, you're looking at programs of government for the next 5 years. And programs of government for the next 5 years must arise out of a protracted planning processes, where we are talking about national, development plans. So these national development plans should include everybody across the country. But where the issue of affirmative action should actually arise are aspects, like when you talk about PDM, you realize that in even Lira City West in particular, there are issues that I raised regarding the PDM, because all these words are not the same. You have words of eight cells, there are words of 5 cells, and there are actually words of 3 cells.
Ours is 9.
Yours has 9 cells.
Yes.
So that means when you are talking about 100 million per cell, per parish, you make other parishes benefit, other parishes struggle. So I'll agree with you entirely on aspects of discrepancies here and there. But also when you talk about lagging behind, we should also realize that we have also lagged behind ourselves in terms of politics. For a long time, the people of Lao have not walked the walk and talked the talk with the government in
By
power.
voting?
No. In terms of, it's only until recently that, like I said, the UPC has started working with us to vote.
That one should not be a
NRM.
prerequisite for me to
It is an issue.
No.
No government.
No.
Even when there's no government who's going to say there is no reward. Politics is about reward system.
No.
And actually, in terms of lobbying, in terms of being in government, you need your people in government who can lobby for you.
No, Eddie.
So now, the people of Lao
Eddie.
needed people
Eddie.
who will go into government
Eddie.
and lobby development.
Eddie.
There is a point of information.
Eddie.
Yes.
If I'm to give an example, 1969,
Yes.
we see traces of these 22 hospitals.
Yes.
Abim. What was Abim by that year? Anaha. What was Anaha by that time? All this. Iganga along the road. Was it based on political affiliation? See the country. I will not agree with you.
No, when I interjected you, I was interjecting on the aspect of the broader manifesto, broader development planning. But even when you bring the issue of hospitals, at the moment, is there any part of the country without a regional referral?
Regional?
Yes.
Do you have regional referral in the... I have so many places I'm affected.
No, regional referrals are for sub-regions.
Yes.
Lao has their regional referral hospital.
Karamoja is not happening.
Moroto
I think
regional referral
Moroto is
hospital.
there.
Moroto is there.
They have.
At the moment, there is nowhere you can say there's no regional referral hospital.
So generally,
when my only agreement with you
Yes.
is on the aspect of socioeconomic development and the element of affirmative action.
All right.
And the answer is, when we go now into this election, you know here, when he says UPC will sweep all the constituencies. Now you are sending members of parliament who are not going to sit in caucus, who are not going to be in cabinet, and then you're expecting the same development here? Is that realistic? You are seeking development from a government that you're opposing.
Then we should go to one party thing.
No.
Let's go to one party thing.
Where, from the context of manifesto,
Yes.
where is it in your manifesto that you said if you don't send
Vote
for
for
us,
this person.
No, what I'm saying,
we are not
in
going
terms
to
of
give you
the manifesto is
cabinet.
generic,
We are not-
but there are development that are not even hinged on the manifesto. Because you
what-
see,
then
the
why-
manifesto
why
is just
do
a
you need
projection of
development?
how we're going to move for the next 5 years. But a number of things can change.
And that
I
manifesto
can
is
tell you,
segregative.
you have actually capacity to go and lobby things that are not even on the manifesto.
Okay, thank you, Eddie Morris Ogweng. Okay, PFF, in a nano manifesto, the National Resistance Movement, and kaini mi yutambot NRM, kado chebet guma aber, unyogumarachi bori, gintela nyukui. Ngoa me onu yini toro mi yutami yeni now kwan mi kwanyo ko man mi med mewe Uganda te wora nyim.
Not only medana banking on government that have seated for 40 years. That put around Kobu their clear achievement and of their progress from these 40 years with lots of manifesto that they have succeeded so well and scored, say, 60-40% of that manifesto, they are left with now to drive. I'm also to include the new one in these 40 years. In what you need to abusing your man, you're gonna pay your pain. Manifesto penalty can about the will of people in power. Because the will of people in power, and I'm going to have and hire for people who voted for me. I'm going to be segregative. That is not how to build a nation.
And manifesto is tested.
We are
But
talking of a nation.
there is nowhere in the manifesto that will be segregative.
It's tested
You
on
just
100
confirm
days.
that
100
everything
days
is
is enough
unique.
for you to
Okay,
get
okay.
Because
Call
what I'm saying is-
me gong son chawa.
Gina memories of Kotis clearly. They will have our cabinet. Cabinet is for the nation. Cabinet is for New Year, NPNT, actually, so you work for a That is not
But
the
that's
ca-
how government
That is
works.
not the minister.
All development plan is
No, they
at
don't
the
work
cabinet
that way.
level.
You work for your nation.
No.
And that is what they should have.
No.
That is what
It's
they
for
live,
the country.
the Bible
Yes.
and share, the Constitution.
Yes.
Huh?
And
They are not LC5.
And that
They are not
minister,
LC3.
that minister is not the minister for the region
the
where that
region
person
where
comes
they
from.
come from.
Whether you
So-
put somebody from cover,
Will
still do what is
having that mental thinking, me near John Peroma Lodge. John Penio Uganda. Get you made to put be the region D. America me be the minister. You know me behaving by a kingmaker in that region. You should be a kingmaker. Yet you have got to be a servant to serve Ugandans. You know me kill policy. Me would take the cabinet. I mean, you know the whole of Uganda.
Can I inform my brother
So,
here?
Manifesto oberugina metiso innocent. Enter you are implementing by the NRM. The unwritten manifesto. Tieni go loot every day. They are selling 25 billion. And Museveni is telling them,
develop
if you
Uganda.
still
Do it here.
invest it in Uganda, not condemning you, still I'm going to put you in Lozira. So you see that contradiction. Manifesto, is it manifesto? Museveni in which part of manifesto? That if you still invest in Uganda, but is giving a officer who is concerned to fight corruption, Inspector General of Government. Don't go that far. Just tell them to invest where? In apartments. We are suffering with poor education. You invest in hotels. We are suffering. There is no drugs in the hospital. But we should clap for the 1% who is getting sting rich to come and buy votes. And Ed Morris is even singing practically from the field.
He's feeling the heat.
He's feeling the heat. Because it's now buying me off. And this is a new thing which have come out. It is not in their manifesto that you buy your opponents off. But now it is what movement is trying their best with the electoral commission. Several. Now I'm looking at your UPC vote Museveni. Are they not in their comfortable double cabin? Each person has been given 50 million. This is common knowledge. It is not even secret.
But are they complaining that they were bought?
How can you complain when you are comfortable? Huh? It is hard to point to people like, what could you know? Is even coming back now onto NRM. And you can see this in the NRM internal election.
Thank you. Bonnie Gongson.
So that is of manifesto. People who has the will to see that manifesto is taken to the dot to benefit the citizen. They don't have the will.
Thank you.
Maybe other parties will try.
All right.
Because UPC have shown in their first from 19, I think, 62 to about when Yeramin overthrew them. They shown that at least they brought Uganda to some level with Singapore. They have the history to tell. But for the 40 years, we are having a history to tell. We have 120 trillion debt.
We have
without government assets. They have sold all the government assets and they have brought in 120 trillion debt. That is the manifesto NRM.
They say they're protecting the game.
You can see
He's protecting. Because they are built hotels. Why can they not protect that?
Actually, if you talk about land, for instance, the gains we are protecting. Did we have the TV here? Can we be proud about this?
But is it assembled in Uganda?
Did we have the tarmac roads in the
this
city?
TV is made in Uganda.
Fine.
This technology is Uganda.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
you, Gongson. Order, please. Well, don't get it
because I'm eating food. You are the one.
Don't get it
It's enabling environment that allows.
Eddie Morris. Don't get it habitual again. Metuni ya giki me program wa tieno meni nati. Remember, Adwong President Museveni made a statement. Tia koki kom Robert Chagulanyi nyokwalo kwirere kwir miliona rio etonera bishel. Yera me 2021. Eddie Morris. President Museveni no kwir 5.6 million he was declared queen 5.6 million. Ngomio ko ni kati chawa ni dog your TPM.
Well, the complaint of the vote rigging by Chagulanyi and the National Unity Platform, the evidence could actually be clear in the by-election in Kawempe. You saw that there was a lot of ballot stuffing by NUP in a by-election. So how can you say that they did not do that?
But you are at home.
And now,
how do you know if they were ballot stuffing?
You have a country. You have a country where even opposition want to rig election. And they complain about rigging election.
Gongson, order, please.
So I want to declare that His Excellency would have got even more votes in 2021 if nobody not actually did vote rigging.
So no kuala kwiru.
We would have got 7 million votes.
No.
And this year,
why should President Museveni complain now?
No, because you can only get better if you learn the past. And that is why we are saying, let us follow the rule of the game.
Is that
if
not
the Constitution say, vote and be away from the polling station. We are trying to protect everybody. It doesn't only work for the NRM. It works for everybody.
Eddie Morris.
Yes.
Is that not crocodile tears?
I don't think so. Because if it were, this group would have not repeated in a by-election in Kawempe. And actually, they were beating up people. They were beating up NRM. We went to places where...
Thank you, Eddie Morris.
Thank
you, Eddie Morris.
In the city.
Okay. Engineer Pira.
Yo, Mike Tigi Nortia Shiel. Adami Timoris, Karachiel Kere team mere. These statistics are making a which is going to fail them properly. They are now doing statistics. Kani Joadi in a parish, Amushatu, Hanongeo, we are tene. Amobere and that were one. I mean, statistics. I mean, unity Karachiel Kere, Nikubni village. Village.
We actually have 72,000 villages.
Those villages, like Kaana Binu Borwa, Kanana Buria. Ana Milukobini Angio, Ni Quira NRM, when I NRM cha, Enicha, Kachape. And that is what you should know. These statistics will fail you people. That's the same thing I'm team. I stay in Kampala. Kawempe, Giname Joshua Tiyo. Those boys are smart. Pieni chawani, unanokoni, kayini ruhu bonga Chagulanyi. Aite what no bolokui. Jua yeli pien ruhu tia bae wijokite. Yini ruhu t-shirt yellow. To bolokui la luchi. And that is what you should expect in Kampala. Pien amegosha ameoloni Farida. Uniyange koko emani chani, she's now silent. That process I enter what can maybe to kuibe chani. Upieno neni why? Pien statistics ubinu ni indu itikiri kuira Roman. Which was not true. And those young men are in fact, headquarters, they call it a country, that place. Don't
you think they do rigging?
Which rigging with all the guns on you like this? Huh? I'm telling you, those boys, you should be very cautious.
Engineer Pira, 2.5 million votes. Chagulanyi Okwalo, Bod Museveni. Can it happen?
Then they should fire this man.
Biamokaba.
Then Biamokaba, what is he doing there? Because I remember recently they appointed him. They re-appointed him. But I remember when he wanted to do the actual thing, they called him a bunch of rotten people. Election or by-election or team to Kano.
Thank you. PFF, why that complaint now of vote rigging?
But those who read Museveni well, only Museveni look at the opposite. And Yako Bugina and Equala, they made it on 5.6. He's the one who stole.
But it should have been 7 points.
2.8 votes in the 5.6 is not genuine vote for Museveni.
And more than a half of the population.
You remember, in Western, a whole bishop went and found his name was taken. A whole bishop.
There's a polling station.
Voted.
There's a polling station, Mike.
You just go back
everybody.
But do you believe the bishop?
Even Even the sick person. There was no question. Maybe Gongson. Polling station at Chela Metikirura. Ngata komelipe. Out of 810 members in the polling station, and all of them were votes invalid petiye.
They were patriotic.
Engineer Pira,
very patriotic.
You have 10 seconds. Campaign for you, UPC. Your time is over.
No, luak me yila kan. Kere jodu chametia nenwa. The party, ameti the results, ameti uncontested across this country for the UPC. And this is the only time, luak, kana candidates wati you don't even bother yourself, meneno ngatokene. Team kachi, ite would gweta bear. And we want to smarten this place. Maybe you can't be the original red.
Thank you.
Jokerni. We shall talk to them later. But for the moment, any vote, ngatoke kena meubero, a member, me Congress, ame tingeri, just give that vote.
Thank you. Eddie Morris.
Yes.
20 seconds.
To do what?
Campaign.
Well, the people viewing us, we are excited to be here. It's a pleasure having all these teams from the different political parties. But I want to say that as NRM, we are protecting the gains in 2026. We've achieved a lot as a country, even as a region. The Laos sub-region has had an increase in road network, in tarmac. We want to increase that. We want to safeguard it. And so we're also looking at the education sector. We want to improve more. The UPE, the USC, more people need to enroll. The health sector has done tremendously well. We need to improve that. And yes, our economy has grown. And as Laos sub-region, we need to work harder to ensure that this economy continues to grow. Our crops need to go to the export market. Our people need to get the industrialization that we have. We already have the industrial park in Lira. We need to bring in the factories and all this. And I can say categorically, more development can come to Laos sub-region if we bring in the right people. If we elect Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to continue to steer this country effectively for the next 5 years, and we bring in members of the National Resistance Movement to fill the members of parliament. And for Lira City West, I can guarantee you, with Eddie Morris on the steering wheel in parliament, we are going to have better road network, better access to water, better electricity, and we're going to have more children enrolled in our schools, and we can be able to achieve more together as a constituency.
Thank you, Eddie Morris.
Thank you.
Well, Gongson, 5-10 seconds.
Meko bongo.
Okay.
Me campaign.
Fine. Okay.
Campaign tia chela kenne. Lao ngeni election na wano woriani. Election ne mea peda wang. Nek purpura mo jokene. Gua ko korsi. Mana na machen. Beda riek. Akari tidi nyoy duong. Tiwi. Dada word liling jami chunyi. Na Mario. Yer ngata tipiri. Yena mano doko deal. Jomo dia bino pe mit word ke kene chembegin. Eda petit pilang. Aya na magiki. Museme lo tiu tichero lo ramo ko. Uganda mit Uganda nyen. Atela danga nyen. Jagula yeti borukan.
All right, Afoya. Thank you so much, Eddie Morris Ogweng, the National Resistance Movement, PFF Gongson, Uganda People's Congress, Engineer Patrick Apirapira. Nyi abedo Michael Gwal, pocha duong board producers na mabedo, behind the machines, maybe you Germany what kitemiro what kere. Nyi abedo Michael Gwal, the political hour. May God bless you and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Electing your leaders at various elective positions is your fundamental human right. Here's how to cast your vote safely and correctly. Step 1. Go to the polling station where you're registered. Step 2. Present your national ID or voter location slip for officials to confirm your name on the register. Step 3. Your identity is verified using the Biometric Voter Verification Kit, fingerprint or face scan. Biometric verification is mandatory to ensure only eligible voters vote. Step 4. Your ballot is scanned and issued to guarantee it's valid. Step 5. Mark your choice in secret, cast your ballot and get inked. Polling runs from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Your identity protected, your vote secure. Turn up and vote. My vote, my voice.
It is easy to forget a storm when the roof is strong. It is easy to sleep soundly when the gatekeeper is awake. Peace is not an accident. Peace is engineered. It's a fundamental gain worth protecting. General Museveni is a fire extinguisher and a shock absorber in East Africa and beyond. They tell you change is coming, but when the storm breaks, you do not cut down the great tree to plant a seedling. You hold onto the roots that go deep. That's trust and dependability. Fellow Ugandans, on 15th January 2026, you won't just be voting for a president of Uganda. You will be renewing the mandate of an accommodative statesman and a pan-Africanist to continue offering clear-headed leadership in Uganda and on the continent. The world knows this. Muzei chairs the non-aligned movement and the South-South Cooperation. He is the incoming chair of the Africa Peer Review Mechanism come February 2026. African Union has just entrusted him with leading the Sudan peace process. Under Muzei's leadership, Uganda has chaired the African Union Peace and Security Council at summit level 4 times. Muzei successfully guided the peace process in Burundi and restoration of statehood in Somalia after 2 decades of anarchy in the Horn of Africa. As a true disciple of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's gospel, Muzei championed the revival of the East African community and remains steadfast in providing guidance and direction at strategic level to the integration process. He is a promoter of Africa's common social infrastructure, Swahili language. His tolerance and visionary leadership led to the restoration of culture institutions and freedom of worship in Uganda. When he speaks, the continent listens to his wisdom. Do you really want to silence the voice that Africa follows? Muzei didn't just build an army. He formed a disciplined Pan-African force, the mighty UPDF, that has secured Uganda's borders and pacified many regional partner states. At a time when the apartheid machine was at the height of destruction, decimating the bases of ANC in the frontline states, General Museveni provided sanctuary and training to ANC's Umukonto Wasizwe and other revolutionaries that were fighting for self-determination. Driven by his love for humanity and Pan-Africanism, Muzei maintains that no African should be homeless in Africa. He opened doors to refugees when others built walls, earning Uganda the respect of the world as Africa's largest refugee hosting nation. Uganda now hosts close to 2 million refugees. He championed women emancipation in Uganda and steered us safely during the COVID-19 pandemic. He is not just keeping us safe, he is moving us forward. The boy asks for a chance, the novice promise. The old man with a heart offers a record of gains worth protecting. Development is anchored on peace. Do not cast it before uncertain winds. Vote Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Vote NRM. This is an Africa Mashariki Fest initiative.
When my husband passed, all I was left with was this bicycle. It's more than just a metal. It's my lifeline.